I'm Tobias. I'm currently a product design lead and an art director at Spotify in New York, besides many other projects that I'm working on the side. But that's pretty much my main job. I mean, of course, I was very surprised, positively surprised. Of course, it means a lot to me because there's a ton of friends and other designers that I really respect within the awards community. So it's always a great benchmark to win an award, such as the Independent Art Director Award. So it definitely means a lot to me, and coming from a lot of people that I admire, that's of course a great thing to have. So the daily routine is is always different, but it usually just starts with checking in with the design team. We have about 50 designers overall right now. It's mixed between product design and communication design. So just checking in, trying to make sure, see what other designers are working on, and then mostly I work with my own team on innovation projects, and that small team usually consists out of a designer, which is me, and then engineers, software engineers, and product owners. So every day looks completely different, but it's actually a ton of prototyping. It's fantastic. It's a great company. I've been at the company now for 2 years. The company has since then about tripled in size, which is pretty amazing. So there's more and more challenges. It's constantly changing, and that's what I like the most about Spotify, is that in those 2 years, the company has changed so much, and even the things that I work on a daily basis is constantly changing. So there's always a new challenge coming up. So it's a fantastic company and great culture. I think we have an amazing team over there. As you can already guess, it's pretty amazing. New York has a ton of, what I like about New York the most is there's a range of diversity. So you have a ton of designers, ranging from product design to fashion design, graphic design, or illustration. So the web design community in general, the design community is pretty big. So there's probably a design event happening every single day that you can attend. So there's no other place to be than New York, I believe, especially when it comes to design. That's a really hard question because you don't want to leave anyone out, right? But I always love the work that comes out of from my friends over at Hello Monday, which you probably know, or North Kingdom. Those are pretty much one of my favorites, and of course Fantasy Interactive, where I briefly worked as well about 3 years ago. So those are my favorites, and I probably missed someone. I don't believe I have achieved anything yet, or I see it as a personal achievement for myself. I think one of the biggest achievements for myself is that I'm still not bored with what I'm doing. So every time I get up in the morning, I'm excited about doing new projects, working on new design challenges. I think that's what I consider my personal achievement right now, because I'm still excited about what I'm working on and I'm still not bored. So but anything else, I don't think there's anything that I have achieved where I would say, okay, I've achieved it and now I'm stop working. So that's probably not going to happen. The future is bright. I believe that we have been, coming from Flash and then moving into new technologies such as HTML5 and WebGL and Canvas and all of that. We have been repeating ourselves a little bit because we've just been adjusting to new technologies. So I think now is actually the point where we move into a much more exciting direction. For me, one of the most exciting things is virtual reality and seeing that coming to life within the web design community. So that's, for me, is kind of the future. Seeing something that is really new and unique instead of something that we might have seen already a couple of years ago. Mostly, I work on a lot of side projects and hobbies. I do have some hobbies. I mostly like longboarding. That's why I actually come to Barcelona usually once a year, because I go longboarding along the beach. So that's probably one of my biggest hobbies is longboarding. And other than that, I work on a ton of side projects. I just love working on stupid side projects, and that's what I'm also going to talk about tomorrow. I think winning a side of the day is as much of an achievement for myself as it is for the client that you actually work for. So I think it's actually even bigger for the client, because there's great exposure coming from winning a side of the day. So that's, when it comes to that, exposure is definitely the number one positive effect. And the client is happy, and there's a recognition from the industry, and it just means that you know, you did a good job. So it's definitely worth it. My talk is going to be a little bit different. The title is Side Projects Are Stupid. So I will be talking about why side projects are stupid, and it's going to be more of a mix of inspirational and motivational talk. So I will try to avoid talking about my work and try to keep it very high level and inspirational and motivational. But I can't say too much right now.